it sure. Hello, Ramona.
Hello everyone, I'm Jada. I'm an artist that makes surreal and fantasy artwork. I like to believe that my artwork brings comfort and it's cozy and can provide company for anyone out there that is looking for some company while they're going through their art journey like I am. I like to believe that my videos can be a source of comfort for anyone and also allow them to see how I am also going through my own journey in life and finding what my career path is. I hope my videos provide you company and help you feel inspired to go through your own journey in life and not feel so alone. And what's more comforting than a kitten? Hello everyone, voiceover Jada here. This month I've been giving a lot of thought to what's next, like what should I do next, what are my goals, and what do I want to achieve in the next 3 months. I kind of talk a little bit about this in my sketchbook tour where I do a quarterly check-in and also show the sketchbook that I worked on for the past 3 months. And a lot of the goals I have evolve around my art, but also I've been thinking a lot about like what should I do in order to improve my art, but also improve my social media presence. Of course, I have my YouTube and my Instagram that I mainly use to showcase my art, and I love like making these art vlogs every month because they're kind of like a little diary entry into where I am in my life and in my journey. But right now I've been struggling with what I should do to grow my social media platforms. I'm still pretty small, but I've been, posting on Instagram for so long, and I've tried to follow so many different strategies and advice that people have put out there, and I find that the common denominator is just like posting every day on like Instagram or trying TikTok. And I did try TikTok a while ago, but I ended up deleting a lot of the videos that I posted because I just didn't really like how they turned out. I'm not capable of posting every day on Instagram. It's just not possible for me. I've been also struggling this month with the feeling that I'm just not good enough, I guess. Like social media lately for me has been making me feel like I'm not working hard enough, and that's why I am not where I want to be in my goals. And if I just worked hard enough, or maybe these people are working harder than I am and that's why they're more successful. I think social media in general just has this weird way of making most people feel like they're not good enough, and I'm kind of feeling that right now. I always try to take a step back when I start to feel this way and get familiar with my goals again and really just focus on why I made those goals and what I'm doing to slowly get to where I need to be and where I will be happy. I'll just be putting the finishing touches here at the top. This painting has taken me so long to finish. I took pictures throughout different stages. I just worked on this part of the painting here, and then I just have a couple of flowers up top, but I thought I would do a little check-in. This painting was supposed to be for a back to watercolor episode, but I'm not really sure if I'm gonna use this painting for that episode anymore, just because it took me so long to finish it and I was struggling with the idea, the concept. I added like more to it because I was really struggling with it beforehand. I'm really happy with the way it looks now. I think I was able to fill in a lot of that white space that was bothering me, and then also just add a contrasting color to like the greenish and blue undertones of this painting. I was really going for like a darker skin tone, and I noticed a slight flaw with my watercolor palette that I use primarily to do skin tone mixes, and that also has my split primary colors in it. And I noticed that when I tried to darken the skin tone, I kind of got more of a greenish undertone, and I wasn't really looking for that. So when I just had the blue and the green hair, which was an accident, I meant to make this like a blonde, like puff hair, and then put the, you know, it was just a whole mess. But yeah, the hair was originally supposed to be blonde, and I, for some reason, painted it green, and then I had to just go with it because I could not put a lighter wash on top of green. Like it just wasn't gonna work. So after I had the green of the hair, the blue of the flowers, I noticed that everything just looked really washed out. And sorry, I'm looking down right now. You're probably hearing a lot of talking. I'm currently fostering our mama cat and 4 of her kittens. And they're very active right now. They're just roaming around. And so if you hear like little chirping and kitten cries, that's why. Anyway, once I had that element done, like the hair and the blue flowers, I realized how washed out and like dull the painting looked. And so I looked up like what was a contrasting color to like blue and green, which is red, and I wanted to add a reddish pinkish element to the painting because I needed something to pop. I needed a way for the painting to pop and not look so dull and just washed out. So that's why I added these 2 flowers here, and then I'm just gonna add this nice like blue crown of flowers up top, and then I'll be finished. Hey everyone, I'm back. I just put my hair back so it's not like in my face and distracting me. Kittens are nursing, so they're nice and quiet right now. I guess to get started, I've never painted, and sorry, I just put my water aside. I never painted and talked at the same time before, so this is gonna be kind of interesting. I hope that I am able to do this and not be super distracted. The paintbrushes I'm going to use are a nice size 10, I guess, short liner brush, and this old Dalarani brush that I have is a round brush size 1. It's like really worn down and like fluffy. I don't know if you can see that. I have to use it like a makeup brush. Yeah, so it's very worn down, fluffy, old. I like to use this for blending. I also have this Trekell round brush size 0. I do need to wash it and reshape it. So after this painting, I'm gonna wash all my brushes because they definitely need some TLC after this. I think that's all I'm going to use. I might reach for this, I don't know what this is, Artist Loft size 1 brush I often use, as well as, I don't even know what brush this is. Actually, I might not use this. I also use this kind of similar to how I use this old Dalarani brush as like a blending brush because it's old, fluffy round brush. I really like my round brushes, but I also like liners. I just never have enough of them, and I always ruin them. So I'm trying to make sure I don't ruin any of my new liner brushes. So that's the brushes I'm setting aside for myself to use, and I'll just jump back and forth between those 5 brushes throughout this little painting part. I guess I can start out by saying, or just talking about what I've been watching lately. So let me bring this closer. So, I guess I can start out by talking about what I've been watching. Last month, I finally watched and finished the Bridgerton series, the Queen Charlotte one, and guys, that video, that show had me in tears. I was literally crying for days, like 4 days straight. And I think part of that was because, actually, I'm gonna use my liner brush first. The paint that I'm using is gouache. And I'm gonna do the line art first, and then I'm going to paint into that. But like I was saying, that show, after I finished it, which I wasn't planning on finishing it that day, I was gonna wait until like my day off, which was the next day, like literally the next day. And I was like, no, I'm gonna finish it. And I already knew that I was gonna be emotional after watching it, and I cried for days. At least 4 days straight I cried. I went to work and cried. And I don't like to cry in public. Like, I am a crybaby. Like, I am a very emotional person. And not a lot of people know that about me, because I try not to be that way in front of people. I don't know. Just a way to protect myself, I think. And also because when I was younger, I used to be made fun of. Like, my dad will always, like, say, stop crying in front of people, like, and, you know, grow up, and you're such a crybaby. Like, just hearing all those negative things kind of made me not want to be vulnerable and cry in front of people anymore. So I really try not to. Like, I will just find a dark corner in a shed and just cry, and then come back and pretend like nothing even happened. And that's what I did a lot, actually. Like, every month for like the past like maybe 5 or 10 months after my accident, all I did was like cry. I think once a month for like maybe a couple days, I just cried all the time. And I would cry at work. I would just be alone crying. I would find a dark corner and cry. And like, no one knew. Or maybe they did know. No one asked me if I was okay, which would have started me, you know, crying again if someone had asked me if I was okay. But yeah, about Bridgerton, I cried so much. And I think part of it is because I started a new birth control, and I've been on it for like 3 weeks now. So I feel like my emotions are a little bit more stable. But every time I start a new birth control, this is the second one I've tried so far, it's made me so emotional. And I know it's normal to like have like fluctuating emotions during birth control, like normal, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I didn't love it. And I thought this new birth control would like alleviate the symptoms I was having with the other one that I was taking, and I just found out today that it didn't. So I guess in order to save money, I'll probably just end up back on the birth control that I was before, which means I'm gonna have another emotional fit probably as my body adjusts to that birth control. So I don't know. Anyway, I know I was emotional because of that, but also just that like whole like season with Queen Charlotte, it was just so sad. Like, it was happy but sad, and like that ending scene, it just set me away. I went away to Sadville, sad times. Yeah, I think it was really sweet. I think they did a very good job, and I cried, and I don't know if I'll be able to rewatch it. All the other ones I've been able to rewatch, but I don't think I'll be able to rewatch that one because I think it's gonna make me too sad. And like, I knew like going in it wasn't gonna be like such a happy story. Like, I think we all knew that, and I didn't think I was gonna watch it because I just didn't want to watch a sad story. Like, we all knew how it was gonna end. We saw what their lives were looking like after the fact, but they also made it really funny. Like, they did have funny parts throughout it. I think, so I also watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think they did a really good job mixing those sad moments with happy, like, funny moments. I wouldn't say happy, but with just comedy. Like, they really did a good job with, like, hitting you with that sad scenes with the animals and everything. I'm trying not to like spoil anything for anybody, but it is sad. Like, there, as someone who's in like the animal like care world, it's very, very sad. It's very heartbreaking to watch those animals go through that. And I think they did a very good job with not letting you dwell too long on those moments by adding comedy into the whole movie. So they'll hit you with sadness and then they'll hit you with comedy like right after, so you're not like depressed and crying throughout the whole movie. And I think they did it really well. And I kind of wish Bridgerton was kind of the same way. Like, I think they did a really good job, but after watching Guardians of the Galaxy, another like kind of sad movie with very sad themes, I think they did a very good job balancing that out, but also getting their message across really well. So yeah, that kind of messed me up too. I didn't cry as long after watching Guardians of the Galaxy, but I did, like, after the movie and I thought about it, I was like bawling my eyes out and so sad, especially for the bunny, the rabbit. Because I have a rabbit, and I think that just hit me even harder. I was just like, you poor innocent baby. Oh, yeah, so I don't know, it just made me really sad. And I'm sorry I'm just talking about sad things right now, but I really wanted to talk about it with someone. Usually, I just paint, and while I'm recording my painting, like while I'm recording the process and stuff, I just slap on a YouTube video so I can just listen to people talk. So I am still not super confident and comfortable like talking to the camera, like looking at the lens instead of looking at myself, so I'm sorry about that. But I feel like most people, when they watch super long videos or they watch certain videos, they're watching to listen and to see a little bit of your process, but it's kind of a way for them to have company as well while they're doing their thing. And I like that. I like that idea. And I think that's also given me a lot more confidence while painting and like filming myself, because I feel like the more talking elements I have in my videos, the more people can use it to keep them company while they're working. And I think ultimately that's what I want my videos to be for people, is to just keep them company, because I'm always searching for videos to keep me company. So after I just used my liner brush, and right now I'm using my Delarani size 1 round brush. I think I'm also gonna go in with I think I'm gonna just use my Trical brush because it has a sharper point, just to kind of get more detailed or less fuzzy lines around my painting. So I've learned after working on this painting for a couple of days, I really dislike the dry brush look in my paintings. I don't like it at all. I don't like to see too much texture in certain parts of my painting that I feel like you normally wouldn't see textures, like with flowers, like with the flowers and stuff. I don't like to see texture in like the dry brush effect. I want it to be smooth. And with gouache, sometimes it looks so weird and textured, and I don't know. I don't always love it at first because it just takes time, I've learned, for the paint to settle. So once the paint settles, it looks so much better, but it does take time for that to happen. And sometimes I'm impatient, so I go in again and again and just keep working the same spot over and over again. And then I have to remind myself to give the paint time to settle into how it's gonna move, what color it's gonna be, and then we can, you know, fix whatever we need to fix. But sometimes I don't listen to myself and I'm impatient and I just keep working the same area over and over again, and I end up hating it. But To get over the dry brush effect, I do use a lot of water. So I do water down my gouache a fair amount. Like I'm just using old gouache that I have on this like acrylic small palette that came with my watercolor palettes. I'm just using this old like blue that I used. I think I used this like a long time ago and just refilled it with the blueberry painting that I did. And I just kept refilling it anytime I needed a blue. What is going on here? The kittens are wrestling. But yeah, I often do that a lot. Like I'll just reuse old gouache that I have in my palette all the time because I either want the same color mixture that I did before, and most of the times I've learned to like write down what colors I've used in a painting because I want to recreate those colors in like a future painting, so I'll rewrite them in my sketchbook. But most of the times I just reuse paint that I already have. It's no use in wasting it. Yeah, I think I also have a problem with like the thought of wasting like watercolor or paper. Like I thought about scrapping this painting so many times because it just wasn't working out for me. Like I just didn't really like how it was turning out at all. So I kept thinking, I'm just gonna scrap it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to add to it to make it better. So I should just scrap it. And I'm glad I didn't. It just took me a long time to figure out what to do with this painting. Like, seriously. It took me way too long to figure that out. But I'm happy with it now. And I'm happy with it now because I just kept thinking and working with it. And I'm just glad that I didn't overwork it because I really thought I was heading into that territory a couple of times throughout trying to figure out how to fix it. I thought I've just ruined this painting because I kept overworking parts of it over and over again. Sometimes you have paintings where you're absolutely sure there's no saving it and you just have to kind of set it aside and move on to other ideas and other paintings. And then sometimes you actually have something, you just need to figure out what that something is and then keep working at it. I hope you liked the style of the video. I thought I would end things off with a little outside adventure. I went peach picking and then we also got to pick blackberries, which was super fun and cool. So I thought it would be nice to kind of show you the farm that I went to and all the peaches we found and got to pick from the trees. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Goodbye. Take care.
Can you feel it, honey? Can you feel it, honey? Now you're way past that. All that bad, 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 bad. So bad, 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 bad. Can you see it, honey? Can you see it? See you past the trouble. Now you know the meaning of it all. It all. Didn't think it happened so soon, but that